Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Undergraduate Pilot Training Graduation Ceremony for Class 2512. I'm Lieutenant Colonel Travis Burns, Operations Officer, 33rd Flying Training Squadron, training students in the T-6 Texan.
And I'm Lieutenant Colonel Julie Rainwaters, Commander, 71st Student Squadron.
Today's ceremony is a once-in-a-lifetime event. We encourage you to come forward and take pictures or videos when your loved one is presented with an award or their wings. For your planning purposes, the wings are presented by rank and then alphabetical order.
Please stand for the entrance of the official party and remain standing for the national anthem of the United States, followed by the invocation given by Second Lieutenant Manu Shinshuri.
As I pray in my tradition, I would invite you to either pray in yours or simply remain a moment of silence. Let's pray. Heavenly Father, I come before you today with reverence and gratitude as we gather to celebrate the achievements of graduates of Class 2512. Thank you for guiding them through the challenges and obstacles they faced on their journey. Each hour of study, every moment in practice, and all the dedication they have shown have led to this amazing day of celebrations. We rejoiced. We recognized that this accomplishment is not theirs alone, but it's also a testament to the support and love of their instructor, leadership of Vance Air Force Base, families, and friends. I thank you for all of them. Lord, as these pilots prepare to take off into the next chapter of their lives, we ask for your divine guidance. Grant them wisdom to make sound decisions, the courage to face all challenges, and the clarity to remain focused on their responsibilities. Also, surround them with your protective presence and inspire them to lead with integrity and humility. As they fly high, may they take them the hopes and dreams. May they take with them the hopes and dreams. We trust that you will guide them and keep them safe, and we will look forward to the great heights as they will achieve. In your name I pray. Amen.
Thank you, Lieutenant Shinshuri. Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated.
Today, 22 officers will receive their wings. On behalf of Colonel Charles Throckmorton IV, Commander, 71st Flying Training Wing, I would like to welcome the family and friends of Class 2512, as well as several members of Team Vance, including squadron commanders, chiefs, first sergeants, spouses, and our ASRC and Amentum contractors.
We are honored to have the following guests from our civil and wing leadership here to support the graduates. The Command Chief, 71st Flying Training Wing, Chief Master Sergeant Harvey McReynolds, Jr. The Airman of the Month from the 71st Force Support Squadron, Senior Airman Krishna Hidi. The Airman of the Month from the 71st Healthcare Operations Squadron, Airman First Class Suhey Arzeta Cordoza. Representing the Commander, 71st Operations Group, Lieutenant Colonel Thomas Kinnear. Representing the Senior Enlisted Leader, 71st Operations Group, Master Sergeant Austin Weinman. The Commander, 71st Mission Support Group, Colonel Benjamin Jans. The Senior Enlisted Leader, 71st Mission Support Group, Chief Master Sergeant Adam Bearclough. The Commander, 71st Medical Group, Colonel John DeLamba. Representing the Senior Enlisted Leader, 71st Medical Group, Master Sergeant Christopher Badger. We are also honored to have the following distinguished visitors as special guests of Class 2512. Please stand or wave your hand to be recognized. On behalf of Second Lieutenant Troy Burke, Colonel Timothy Burke, United States Air Force retired, and his spouse Carla. On behalf of Second Lieutenant Shane Hewart, Colonel Eric Hewart, United States Air Force retired, and his spouse Felicia. On behalf of Second Lieutenant Ashlyn Ulrich, Colonel Aaron Ulrich, United States Air Force retired, and his spouse Kimberly.
We would also like to give a warm welcome to our guest speaker, the Deputy Commander, 71st Flying Training Wing, Colonel Carl Miller III. And the Commander, 71st Flying Training Wing, Colonel Charles Throckmorton IV, and his spouse, Brooke. Ladies and gentlemen, Colonel Throckmorton.
Well, good morning, everybody. How are we doing? I spoke to a few of the families in the back, but this ceremony is about you guys. So please let those kids run down the aisles. Don't try to keep them quiet. Please enjoy yourself. Make yourself welcome here. Yeah, come on in, guys. Run around. All right. Well, welcome to Graduation Day. This is our favorite day here in Enid, America, and we're excited that you've chosen to join us today. To my brothers and sisters of Team Vance, thank you for all you've done. I know you're just as proud of these graduates as we are. Your airmen are what make this possible, and you and I both know that. I'd also like to welcome our fellow service members and all our veterans who have taken the time to be with us here today. Thank you for the example that you set for these graduates and for all that you've done for our country and for our nation. A special Team Vance welcome to Colonel Burke and Miss Carla, to Colonel Hewart and Miss Felicia, and Colonel Ulrich and Miss Kimberly. Thank you all for being here. To all the family and friends of Class 2512, welcome to today's ceremony. You've provided our graduates the principles, the moral compass, and most importantly, the work ethic to make it through this demanding program. Thank you for everything you've done to get to them to this point, and thank you for your continued support throughout their career. To provide you a little background and context, Vance is one of 4 pilot training bases that is charged with developing pilots for our nation and those of our partner nations. And we're just going to go ahead and get it out of the way. Vance is the best. Yes. Your graduates would agree. Everyone else would agree, so we're just going to make it a fact, and we're going to go move on from there. Our mission is to prepare and deliver highly qualified aviators for both training in a variety of aircraft. Vance has delivered nearly 38,000 world-class pilots since 1941, including 2 Medal of Honor recipients, a World War II P-51 ace, 7 astronauts, more than 200 general officers, including the 15th Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, General Richard Myers, and 2 notable first assignment instructor pilots, General Ronald Fogelman, who rose to be the Air Force Chief of Staff, and Colonel Eileen Collins, who went on to be a Space Shuttle commander. Class, make no mistake, you're graduating on sacred ground. Air Force heroes have walked these halls, sat in those seats, and flown airplanes with VN on the tail flash. And I know that you will go on and make us all Vance proud in your future endeavors. Now, in the seats next to you are your fellow aviators. Hopefully you formed a special bond. You've had some challenges and troubles, but hopefully you've also had a little bit of fun too. In the end, you've made it here to graduate and become pilots in the United States Air Force. You've experienced the wonder of flight, and you know what it means to challenge something extremely difficult. Most importantly, you understand the entire support system it takes to get you in the air every single day. Now, we're so close to the moment we've all been waiting for and my favorite part of this job, but I have a few additional thoughts for your consideration. We expect you to be competent, credible combat aviators, while also never forgetting the expectation to be competent, credible officers. You've learned a skill set which you will continue to refine with each flight. Don't ever lose your love of aviation, but the charge ahead of you is to be the officer and aviator that our country needs. During your time in the Air Force, your station will change, your aircraft will change, but taking care of each other and your Air Force family will never change. Now, today we're celebrating the folks in the front row, but it takes a total team effort to get to the point. And I'm very proud of all of Team Vance who has contributed to Class 2512's graduation. We pour a ton of resources into these young men and women. In fact, we invest well over $1 million into each of them to make them the next generation of Air Force leaders and aviators. However, money alone will not get them to this point. It takes a joint effort of our 2,600 airmen, government civilians, and contract partners that all make up Team Vance. Whether supporting, generating, or executing the flying mission, all played a vital role in the graduation of this class today. Among this amazing group, I'd like to single out 3 for your recognition. Although they're the least represented today, the first group is our instructor pilots. These men and women have molded your graduates into aviators and continued officers that will go on to serve our nation for years to come. And you already hear them above you right now because they're already working on the next class. So that's why there's so few of them here today. But we have the world's best instructor pilots, and I'd like to offer them a round of recognition. Our second group is our maintainers. And let's face it, we're pretty good at breaking airplanes. I think some of your graduates can probably tell you some stories about how they've broken some airplanes. I know I can. Every single day, our government civilians and our contract partners launch over 200 aircraft and countless sorties, and they make that all happen and look effortlessly done. So a round of applause for our maintainers and our contractors. And certainly, coming up last but not least in any manner, is our support and medical groups. Our defenders, our services, our finance, MPF, dental, and flight medicine, just to name a few. Graduates, the wings you are about to receive would not be possible without their support and dedication to all of our collective mission. And I know they are just as proud of you as we are. On behalf of all of Team Vance, I want to say congratulations and welcome to the family of military aviators. All right, it is now my privilege to introduce our guest speaker, Colonel Carl Miller III. You have to have a suffix to be on stage today. He might look a little familiar to our graduates because he is the deputy commander. Right here in Enid, America, Colonel Miller's official responsibilities include the oversight of the day-to-day operations of the base support functions and mission activities of our 2,600 military, civilian, and contract airmen. But we all know his real job is keeping me and Chief on task and on schedule and out of trouble, and he does that job extremely well. Prior to his current position, Colonel Miller was the Chief of Aircrew Training and Management at Headquarters United States Air Force in Washington, D.C., where he was responsible for providing strategic policy and oversight for aircrew training and management across the Air Force, the Air Force Reserve, and the Air National Guard. He also served as a fellow and instructor at Georgetown University, where he taught both undergraduate and graduate courses in diplomacy and statecraft. Colonel Miller entered the Air Force in 2001 after commissioning from the University of Florida. Go Dogs. He attended pilot training right here at Vance and is a command pilot in the experience in the T-34, the T-1, the C-17, all variants of the C-208, and of course, his beloved T-6. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to introduce Colonel Carl Miller.
All right. Well, good morning, everybody, and welcome to Vance Air Force Base. I got to tell you, I know we had a little bit of a change in the speaker at the last minute, but the fact that I have the opportunity to speak with you all today, I'm thrilled, and I'm humbled and honored. We needed a happy moment here at Vance, and so the fact that the boss and I get to do this today, and the chief, and have all of these families and friends here with you today for 2512's graduation, it's a big deal, and I'm thrilled to be able to speak with you today. I'd first like to echo those before me and recognize some of our distinguished visitors who've made today possible. First, I want to recognize Chaplain Candidate Shinchuri. Ma'am, thank you so much for being here and for those wonderful words to ground us and prepare us for such a special moment today. We're glad to have you here. Thank you so much. Goose Hyde, thank you for emceeing and for your leadership as always. Colonel Throckmorton, Chief McReynolds, thanks for hosting us, and they give me the opportunity to run my mouth today, so I genuinely appreciate the fact that you let me do this. But I would be remiss if I didn't mention, I think this is important, he's going to hate me for it, but today, this graduation and this dinner tonight marks Colonel Throckmorton and Brooks' final graduation during their command tour here at Vance Air Force Base for the last 2 years. When you sit in the audience like this as a student, you would never imagine one day that you would have the privilege and honor to be able to be officiating and creating the next generation of pilots, you all. And I can tell you, having known Colonel Throckmorton and Brooke for a very long time and getting to work with them very closely over the last year, the complete pleasure, pride that they take in their mission to produce you all, to graduate you all. It's the honor of a lifetime to be able to do this. And sir, I am just so grateful for you. And I'm glad to share this moment with you. It means a lot. So if we could just give them a round of applause on their final graduation today. Love you, boss. To my wingmen, fellow teammates, colonels, chiefs, senior enlisted leaders, thanks for your steadfast leadership. This is a very worthy endeavor we have to produce pilots for our nation, and I am honored to be able to have this journey with you. Colonel Burke, Colonel Kewart, Colonel Ulrich, thank you all so much for attending on behalf of 2512 today. Colonel Ulrich, I think we were in sister squadrons one day back in the day in Charleston, South Carolina, and it's good to see you again. Thanks for being here. It's a small Air Force. To all of our instructor pilots, maintainers, controllers, aircrew flight equipment, defenders, force support, mission support, our medical team, active duty, guard, reserve, contractor, civilian, thank you. You all are the ones who truly make this possible to have this graduation here today, so thank you. And finally, and most importantly, to the real DVs, the grandparents, the moms, the dads, the brothers, the sisters, aunts, uncles, spouses, children, fiancés, almost fiancés, boyfriends, girlfriends, best friends, every single one of you that has taken the time to be here for this class today. Thank you so much. You all, truly, and this is why the boss said, please come in from the back. You all are what makes this moment in our lives so special. Class 2512. Just saying that number makes me feel really old. I was, as the boss said, a graduate of here in 0214, nearly 23 years ago, and I even brought my patch and my name tag here with me on my binder. And if you happen to go to Scooters this weekend, I encourage you to go check out the pool table in the back of Scooters, and you'll see my class patch on the wall there. But 23 years ago, what I can remember about that day and what I can't remember about that day is that I have absolutely no idea who my graduation speaker was whatsoever. I couldn't tell you for all the money in the world who they were. And to be honest, we say this all the time as a joke, but I don't think any of us remember who our graduation speakers are when we come across this stage. So, accordingly, I will take a note from history, and I will keep my remarks very brief so that we can get on to the main show, which is your very, very big and special day today. So I'm going to spare you my long-winded war stories and quotes mixed in with historically significant facts. All I'm going to do today for you 2512 is I'm going to give you an assignment. There's 3 things that I'm going to ask you to promise me that you will focus on and work to accomplish over this weekend. And now this just isn't an assignment for the class. What I am going to ask requires participation from everybody who is in the audience today for these new pilots. So pay attention, right? I'm going to keep it short, but there's going to be a quiz at the end, and I need you to remember what I'm going to assign you. So do we have a deal? Short, but you got a responsibility. Okay, thank you. All right, number one. I want you to promise me, 2512, that you will do your very, very best to make this moment one to remember for a lifetime, for both you and your families. If you're anything like me and Colonel Throckmorton, and probably most of the instructor pilots in this room and on this base, right now, at this moment, you are about to realize a dream that you have had since childhood. I was in the 4th grade when I decided that I wanted to be a pilot, and most of you have probably been working your entire lives to get to this point, and you've probably been just about the best at everything that you have done. Moms, dads, grandma, grandpa, siblings, family, friends, you all literally created and molded these amazing human beings that are about to walk across this stage here in a moment. Their success and accomplishment is only possible because of you. Inside of my speech binder, I keep pictures of my family right in front of this very building here, who were a part of my journey as I walked across this stage in 2002. And quite frankly, they are the only reason that I am still here today. And so every time I take this podium, I carry them with me. None of us in this world are permanent, but these memories that you make here today, they can last a lifetime. So please, I'm asking you, take lots of pictures, create lots of memories, have a blast, celebrate each other and this amazing milestone that you have accomplished in your lives today. It matters, and it will matter in the future. Number 2, express your gratitude. 2512, none of you would be here without the love and support of the people sitting behind you. I want you to promise me that you'll tell each of them how much they mean to you. You are about to embark on the adventure of a lifetime as a pilot in the world's greatest Air Force, but you cannot do this alone, and you will not be successful without the love and support of your family and friends. So I need you to tell them today just how much they mean to you. And to the friends and family, promise me that you'll tell these men and women how proud you are of them. Their new charge in life and the burden that they will carry going forward as American airmen who fly is great. Their ability to fly, fight, and win, it depends on your continued support and love. So please continue to build them up. Number 3, continue to build the relationships. 2512, do not let go of the relationships that you have built throughout pilot training with the folks sitting beside you today. And please continue to foster them. The new friends and colleagues that you have made here today are a part of the foundation of your Air Force family, and they will be a part of your career and your network that will last your entire lives. One of my very best friends in the world, and who was also our guest speaker this past January, was sitting in these seats with me once upon a time. I've known Colonel Throckmorton since we were in college together and doing ROTC. Mark my words, your journeys together as a class are just beginning. Also, promise me that you won't forget about your instructor pilots, because I don't know if you realize just how much these folks care about you as aviators and as airmen, and more importantly, as people. Because honestly, we see ourselves in you. And if you haven't figured it out yet by the words that I'm using today, we once were you. We're all in this together now. We're in the same club. So keep these relationships going. One of the great joys that I had in my time in the Air Force was getting to promote my very first solo student to the rank of lieutenant colonel. Not only did it remind me how old I was, that some of my students are now lieutenant colonels, but the fact that you can build and forge a relationship like that and see people grow and succeed, it means a lot. Oh, one more fair warning to the instructor pilots. One of your former students is inevitably going to end up being your boss or your instructor one day. So it's just the way it works. The circle comes back around, and the playing field gets very small once you get out into the real Air Force. Don't forget that. But seriously, keep these relationships alive. They're special and they matter. Okay, so that was pretty much it. I had 3 tasks for you. Make memories, express gratitude, and sustain relationships. That's all I need you to do. 2512, the Air Force, your nation, your friends, and your family, we need you to be the best. And we are going to ask you to go out and do really hard things. Now, I realize you're looking at me and you're going, sure, Colonel Miller, you say that, but that's probably for somebody else. My calling and time to go do hard things probably won't come. And I get that. That is human nature to think that those things are for somebody else, and that won't be me. But I'm here to tell you that you are wrong. And without a doubt, all the graduates who have walked across this stage before you, they thought the exact same thing. I never could have imagined nearly 23 years ago where this journey would take me and the things that I would do. Lieutenant Colonel Leon Vance, for whom our base is named, could never have imagined when he graduated pilot training in 1940 that he would be called upon to one day ditch a bomber into the English Channel on one engine, solo, with a nearly amputated foot so that he could save the lives of his fellow crew members, a mission that would earn him the Congressional Medal of Honor. Our local national hero, Lieutenant Colonel Shortfinger, he couldn't have imagined in September 1968, when he graduated right here at Vance, that he would be shot down over North Vietnam just 3 years and 5 months later after walking across the stage. Think about that. And then he would spend 405 days in captivity at the Hanoi Hilton. The mobility pilots who once walked across this stage and then executed the world's largest non-combatant evacuation from Kabul in August of 2021. There's no way that they could have envisioned those events when they walked across this stage. The B-2 pilots, the fighter escorts, the tanker pilots, who pulled off the most complex airstrike in modern history by flying deep into Iranian territory just last month. Do you think that they envisioned that event in their lives when they walked across this stage right here in this room? As your group commander has said before, we live in a time of great consequence. Now more than ever, our nation requires every airman at every level and every duty who are willing and able to do hard things. But the good news is, 2512, you are ready, and we're going to continue to make you more ready as you go through the rest of your training. Today, you are better trained and better prepared than I was when I walked across the stage. I promise you that. And you are going to continue only to get better and better. You will rise to the challenges that you face, and you will be successful, just like every airman who has come before you. Now, that last part, I realize you're probably not going to remember any of that, but you promised me to remember the 3 things that I told you. Does anybody remember what they are? Make this one to remember, express gratitude, and sustain your relationships. Perfect, thanks. 2512, in a moment, you will receive your wings, and you will forever hold the title of Air Force pilot. Welcome to the club. We are truly honored and excited for you, and you will always be part of the legacy of Vance Air Force Base and this Enid community. Seriously, thank you for allowing me the opportunity to be here with you today, to talk with you for a little bit, and thank you, families, seriously, thank you all so much for being here. Your presence means the absolute world to us. 2512, may God bless you. May God continue to bless this great nation, and may you always be Vance proud. Thank you.
Thank you, Colonel Miller. Captain Anthony Tedder from Class 2512 would like to present you with a small token of appreciation for being part of this special occasion.
We will now recognize individuals who excelled in one or more phases of training. The new pilots competed for academic, leadership, and flying training awards, as well as the top wingman, distinguished graduate, and the coveted AETC Commander's Trophy. Each phase of training was carefully weighed, and only a slight margin separated the top performers. Families and friends, please come down and take photos as your graduates receive their awards. Please be mindful of the public affairs photographer that will be taking official photos during this time. Colonel DeLamba will present the Academic Excellence Award to the pilot whose overall academic test averages exceeded those of their peers. The recipient of the academic award is Second Lieutenant Ashlyn J. Ulrich.
Colonel Jans will present the Leadership Award. The Leadership Award is presented to the officer who demonstrated outstanding leadership qualities and potential throughout this most rigorous and demanding military training program. The recipient of the Leadership Award is Captain Anthony R. Tedder.
Lieutenant Colonel Kinnear will present the Flying Training Award. The Flying Training Award is presented to the pilot whose daily flying performance and check ride scores exceeded those of their peers. The recipient of the Flying Training Award is Second Lieutenant Jonathan D. Zimmer.
Colonel Throckmorton will present the Top Wingman Award. Selected by their peers, the Top Wingman Award is presented to the graduate who epitomized the support and teamwork critical to being a great wingman. The recipient of the Top Wingman Award is Second Lieutenant Austin D. Zoller. Congratulations.
Colonel Throckmorton will present the distinguished graduates. To be selected for this honor, a student must maintain an exceptionally high average in all phases of training and finish in the top 10% of the class. The first distinguished graduate is Second Lieutenant Austin D. Zoller.
Congratulations again.
The second distinguished graduate is Second Lieutenant Jonathan D. Zimmer.
Congratulations again. Finally, the most prestigious trophy that Air Education and Training Command presents to a pilot training graduate is the AETC Commander's Trophy. These pilots excelled in both flying and academics and demonstrated the initiative and leadership qualities essential to the professional Air Force officer. Additionally, they personify the tenets of the Order of the Dedalians, a group dedicated to military aviation, personal integrity, and patriotism. Colonel Miller will present this special award reserved for the officers who attain the highest overall rating through their programs. The winner of the AETC Commander's Trophy is Second Lieutenant Jonathan D. Zimmer. Well done.
At this time, Colonel Throckmorton would like to recognize the instructor pilots from the 33rd Flying Training Squadron, selected by Class 2512, who most embodied the Air Force Core values during T6 training and provided exceptional mentorship and instruction. Colonel Throckmorton will present the recipients with a plaque in recognition of their hard work. Receiving the award from our flight, Major Gordon Hodgkins.
Well done, Gordon.
Receiving the award from S Flight, First Lieutenant Liam Gray.
Good job.
This concludes the awards portion of the ceremony. And now the time that we have all been waiting for. Colonel Throckmorton will formally present the diplomas and pilot wings to our graduates. As they exit the stage, they will receive a commemorative coin with their unique graduation number from the 71st Student Squadron Flight Commander, Captain Zoe Chittick. The new pilots' families and friends are invited to pin on the Air Force wings following the graduation ceremony.
Having completed the required course of training, the following officers from Class 2512 are awarded the aeronautical rating of Air Force Pilot. Captain Isaac M. DiRego.
Captain Anthony R. Tedder.
Captain Joshua D. Wickstrom.
First Lieutenant Cole A. Tarvin.
First Lieutenant Chelsea L. Taylor.
First Lieutenant Bryce W. Worley.
Second Lieutenant Easton J. Alsop.
Second Lieutenant Troy G. Burke.
Second Lieutenant Matthew D. Conlon II.
Second Lieutenant Scott D. Darden.
Second Lieutenant Timothy J. Gorman.
Second Lieutenant Callie E. Guest.
Second Lieutenant Shane E. Hewart.
Second Lieutenant Ashlyn J. Ulrich.
Second Lieutenant Jackson C. Price.
Second Lieutenant Joseph N. Cisco.
Second Lieutenant Stephen A. Stewart, Jr.
Second Lieutenant Sarah E. Wells.
Second Lieutenant Austin D. Zoller.
Second Lieutenant Grant A. Woodward.
Second Lieutenant Ryan Wilkinson.
Second Lieutenant Jonathan D. Zimmer. To complete today's ceremony, Colonel Throckmorton will present Class 2512.
How about face? It is my honor to present to you the Air Force's